Agriculture supervises plant experiments. The Environmental Protection Agency studies pesticides. And our Food and Drug Administration examines products marked for human or animal use. Those that pass every test, every time, earn the right to improve our lives. Like plants, animals benefit from biotechnology. Anyone who cares for one of the 100 million pets in the United States knows they get sick. It's not much different from you or I seeing a doctor when we feel ill. Today, engineered vaccines prevent common diseases such as rabies. Horses are another example. Born without an immune system, they're very much in danger of contracting deadly viruses during their fragile first weeks of life. But genetic engineering has led to synthesized nutritional supplements that increase the number of disease-fighting antibodies in their mother's milk. Genetically engineered solutions to animal illnesses are often pursued for man's benefit. Ranchers look at livestock, animals they raise to sell as food, in terms of costs and profits. 3 factors can affect their business: animal health, feed costs, and quality of meat. Somatotropin is a natural growth hormone produced by pigs and cows. It's generated in the pituitary gland, located within the brain. Somatotropin affects how an animal's body uses protein contained in food. Today, scientists have created artificial somatotropins that literally help these animals make more and less at the same time. They become more meaty and less fatty on less feed. In the case of dairy cows, they produce more milk on less feed. Like any genetically engineered substance, somatotropins undergo extensive testing. Scientists and the Food and Drug Administration want animals protected from any harmful side effects. And one day, humans will consume the products these animals provide. On an even higher scientific plateau, biotechnology is making selective transferring of genetic traits between vastly different species possible. At Tufts University's veterinary school, fertilized embryos are obtained from a donor animal. Genes carrying a desired trait from a different animal are injected. The embryo is returned to the donor. Her offspring are then born with the new trait. In pigs, this might mean genetically gaining an inherent ability to grow more lean more quickly. A food chain has developed before your eyes. Plants, like tomatoes and apples, help feed animals and people. Animals, like cows, give us milk. Each link in the chain helps the others. But our biological food chain becomes something much more meaningful, a lifeline, when one organism helps cure illness in another. This man suffers from hemophilia. His blood is missing a special protein called factor IX. Without factor IX, something as simple as a cut on the arm can kill him, because he can't stop bleeding if he starts. Through genetic engineering, sheep produce perfectly acceptable factor IX protein for him. To make this miracle happen, genetic engineers first identify the human gene responsible for creating factor IX protein. They also identified the sheep gene responsible for milk production. Once identified, they splice the sheep gene onto the human gene. This is known as recombinant DNA engineering. Just fertilized embryos removed from mature sheep are injected with recombinant genes. Those newborns who accept them like their own will produce factor IX in their milk as naturally as they do other proteins. At this point, Mother Nature takes over. The newborn sheep grow and mature. Months later, several members of the flock produce factor IX protein in their milk. They're a reliable source for human hemophiliacs. This woman may have breast cancer. One of her 10 trillion cells may have responded to a bad chemical signal from a DNA molecule that says, grow, grow, grow. Uncontrolled cell growth becomes a tumor. The one thing better than treatment would be an answer to why cancer starts in the first place. Transgenic laboratory mice are helping science find answers. They're injected with an oncogene, or cancer gene, before they're born. Because scientists know they'll have cancer, they can learn what triggers the disease in its earliest stages. Answers found in mice may one day be part of a cancer cure for humans. There are many ways to look at fields of grain. Artists see contrasting colors in plants, sunlight, and sky. Farmers see food-producing crops. Biotechnologists see inside each plant, at a genetic level, life's most basic chemistry. With vision, they can shape and reshape living organisms for man's benefit. If you think back to the mildew-damaged oat plants shown earlier, traditional crossbreeding did not carry mildew immunity between two different species. But genetic ingenuity continued the story. Biotechnologists successfully transferred Algerian oat's natural immunity to less resistant species. Many early attempts failed, but from this one successful merger came the precious seeds needed to grow endless acres of healthy plants. Biotechnology is the ultimate man-made tool. Plant lives, animal lives, and human lives have moved closer than ever before, and will never be the same. In our knowledge of genetics, we're moving towards a better future. And because we're making biological safety as basic to genetic research as DNA itself, we stand to gain more from biotechnology than any other organism on Earth.